The Coffee Break Chat here this morning. Our special guest is State Senator Tony Hwang. And, Tony is going to be over at the Southport Pequot Library starting at 6:30 tonight. And it's going to be a distracted driving forum. Distracted driving is an epidemic, not just here in our area, everywhere across the country. Tony, welcome to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Always great to talk to you, Tony, and absolutely, it is a dangerous epidemic. In fact, in 2017, distracted driving claimed over 3,000 lives. And it's amazing, Tony, because unfortunately it is almost do as I say, not as I do, because the National Traffic Study found that almost 90% of drivers believe that distracted driving is a dangerous problem and a bigger problem than ever before. However, the vast majority of those same drivers themselves report themselves engaging in distracted driving behaviors. In fact, most of us are guilty of distracted driving. You are not, Tony. I know that. Honestly, but most of us are guilty because we naively think nothing dangerous will happen to us. But unfortunately, distracted driving is as dangerous as drunk driving. It's interesting. If you were traveling 55 miles an hour and you peeked over your phone for 5 seconds, you will have traveled an entire length of a football field. That's amazing.
That is an amazing statistic. It really is. And you talk about glancing at your phone. I don't know about you, but 9 times out of 10, when I get a text, it's from my wife who's saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" Or it's from a friend of mine who's like, "You want to get coffee later on?" It's never anything important. It's nothing that can't wait until you have stopped the vehicle.
Absolutely. Your phone and any of the other distractions in the phone related to your car and the technology can wait. When you're not paying full attention to the road in front of you, there is a highly increased chance that you'll have an accident as a result of either your own actions or also the actions of others that you're unavailable. The thing is, all it takes is a fraction of a second for tragedies to occur. And so we're asking people, we're not being preachy about this, Tone and Melissa. We're just sharing with people that all it takes is being aware. And I harper back to the fact that, 25, 30 years ago, drunken driving was an unfortunate byproduct of our societal norm. I will tell you, to this day, right now, we have made a dramatic change in that. But the problem is, though, Melissa mentioned it earlier, is that false sense of security that our automakers and where technology is being able to say to you, you can do this. The automatic braking, the sensors, the ability to do different things in a car for you. You feel like in new cars now that you're going into an entire technology compartment that says we're here to save you. Because obviously, car makers would never do anything to make it unsafe in a car. But the problem is, with all that technology, from GPS to texting to voicemails and all the technologies around you, they're taking attention from driving the car.
Absolutely. And I think, Tony, the thing that I worry about with, and just to kind of play devil's advocate a little bit is we have obviously April is, driving, the Distracted Driving Awareness Month. And we saw up patrols. We had the campaign going on, like you text, you drive, you pay. And, people getting handed fines if they are, in fact, texting and driving. But I think the thing that worries me, I feel like, is every year we have, get these statistics at the end of April. And it's like, look, this is how many people were pulled over. This is, that we're seeing that numbers are better and things like that. But then May 1st comes along and people pick up that phone because they know they're not really being watched that much. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but in this forum tonight, you guys are kind of addressing the fact that this is a problem every single day, not just something to be like, oh, the cops are out right now in April and I need to just be aware of it. But once tomorrow starts, I'm good to pick up that phone again.
Absolutely. The social normalization in everything we see from TV to ads It says this is part of our very fabric. What I'm trying to do by this forum with national experts that brings out real data. So when I share with you the distance of a football field, I say to people, you wouldn't close your eyes and drive for 5 seconds on a highway. They said no, but they don't hesitate to think that texting and taking your eyes off the road. But what we are going to do is have national experts share with you real data points and real facts. And then we also have law enforcement to be able to share with you not only the enforcement side, but unfortunately the accidents that they have to investigate and unfortunately in some tragic cases report to family members. And we also had in the forum in Newtown that occurred last week was we actually had some individuals whose lives were dramatically impacted, from parents who lost their child to a young high school student who got sideswiped by a middle-aged person staring at the phone. And we're grateful to say that she's learned a valuable lesson, and her younger brother, who's just started driving, has been embedded with that lesson that distracted driving is dangerous. But we're happy to report it had a good ending. She went to her prom last Friday. Oh. So bottom line, it is to share with people how serious distracted driving is as a danger on the road. And all it takes is a second for your lives to change dramatically and unfortunately tragically. We want to avoid that.
And Tony, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not just the technology. I mean, I've seen people eating Subway sandwiches while they're driving. I've seen women putting their makeup on their eyes while they're driving.
That's incredible.
I've seen some things that I'm like, eating a bag of Doritos. I mean, I'm not just saying taking a chip out of a bag. I'm talking about taking the bag, turning it upside down, and putting it in your mouth while you're driving. I mean, there are so many other factors that go into this.
Driving a car is a serious act, and you are behind the wheel. It is not in your living room. It is not the comfort and safety. You have a responsibility to yourself and also to the other people along with pedestrians. And that's an important message, that I wanted to share, is to be able to have this forum tonight at Pequot Library at 6:30, and we'll have a panel of experts. We will be able to share with them the little things that we do. As I said earlier, most of us are guilty, and I am as well, in my hour and 20 minutes drive listening to you. But the fact is, in doing this forum, and hearing the facts and hearing the real stories, I have become a much better person in not being on the phone. And if I have to get off, I'm just going to stop the car and do the little things that matter, because you know what? It does matter, because these distractions can wait, and the people who love you want you to be safe.
All right, that's a good point. This happens tonight, Pequot Library, 6:30 to 8 o'clock, right there in Southport. Tony Hwang leading the Distracted Driving Forum. All right, so come on, let's drive safely. Let's just, take a moment and remember your family, remember your own life, remember lives around you. It's just not worth it. It really isn't, and that's what this forum is all about. Tony Hwang, I thank you so much for taking a few moments. We've run out of time, but we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thanks, Tony, Melissa. Love listening to y'all.